Hello, hello. I'm an hour late. Better late than never, but I was late for a reason, a good reason. I'm exhausted, so I'm not going to do long tonight. But our motorhome has arrived. We got an older, used Iztaka Winnebago Ellipse motorhome. It's 42 feet long, has 3 huge slide outs, and is just gorgeous inside. And I'll show you a little anyway, let me show you the pictures. Well, I don't have any pictures, do I? Well, bedroom, kind of like nice size TV there. So it's big with a surround sound system. Anyway, sleep number bed. It's exciting. Makes a bed, just king size bed. So anyway, I'm excited. We used to go camping every weekend when we lived in San Diego, and we had an apartment, and we would tent camp, and that was pretty hard to when you live in an apartment, you don't have storage. And we were just young newlyweds back in 1973. We got married March 25, 1973. So our anniversary, our 48th anniversary, was yesterday. And I've been wanting this motorhome that our neighbor has, and he paid a lot of money for it. Oh my goodness. And then his wife died. He's mid-80s, and he can hardly drive it. It's 14 feet tall. Anyway, the slide outs go out, and 30 feet of the on one side, there's 2 slide outs that equal 30 feet. So it's pretty big. We don't know how to drive it. My husband's scared to death to drive it. So he's got to have driving lessons. Even though we're used to driving motorhomes. We've been through 2 motorhomes anyway. And I loved camping in our going tent camping, and I was healthy then. We lived in San Diego, so we always enjoyed going there. And I wasn't sick, never had anything. We had my son, Tim, who was 5 and 6. He was 3 years old when Larry and I got married, and Larry adopted him. But the tents and stuff, I loved it. I didn't mind doing tent camping. And one night it was a horrible thunderstorm, lightning storm. And this is there on Anza Borrego, right on Cuyamaca where Anza Borrego meets. And it's pretty scary. Anyway, we'd gone camping there, and this horrible thunderstorm came in. So we all got in the car and sat in the car, had the kids get in the car. And I know one, it didn't happen when we were there, but one family were laying on mats, and then the kids were just laying on without any mats. And the lightning struck a tree, traveled through the roots, and electrocuted the kids because they weren't insulated. Anyway, that's pretty scary when you tent camp. But because of your call has been forwarded to it, of always having to pack up and and we decided to get a motorhome. So we bought this used motorhome, Class C. It was only like 25 feet long. And we just tore the, we went up and down from San Diego to Seattle to Yosemite, Yosemite about 10 times. And I drive the kids to Yosemite by myself, so I didn't have any problems driving it. So it was nice having a little motorhome, and we got it for cheapy, and the gas was cheap then. And then we adopted some kids. But anyway, my brother lived with us too, and so we had fun. And it was a Class C, with the one with the bed over the cab, like a van cab. And they would sit up there and watch the world go by. So that was always fun. We wore that out, got another motorhome. And then we thought we'd get a truck and trailer. So we got a truck and a trailer. We bought a brand new trailer. That was the stupidest move ever, because they saw us coming. A brand new trailer it was a 30-foot Cougar mountain something, and with a Northwest package and tip outs and everything, was $32,000. And then we had the truck, and that truck wasn't big enough, so we had to buy another truck. We bought a Tundra to pull it. So that was a big mistake, and we didn't not like the trailer as much as we did the camper or the motorhome. But we just bought this house, and we worked hard to pay off everything and not have any debt. And my husband didn't want to go into debt, pay $150,000, $200,000 for a motorhome, and which would be cheap enough to get into, $200 a month. But anyway, our neighbor gave us an offer we couldn't pass up. So we have I said it's a 42-foot Itasca Ellipse, made by, was it made by? Anyway, I don't mean to sound braggy, but I can't it's an Itasca. See if I can find a RV. So I can't sit in the truck. It's just too much. And I couldn't do it anymore. Anyway, here's kind of what that is there. Ours is a little bit newer. So they couldn't, I just can't sit in the seat of the truck for very long because of my spinal surgery. I had failed spinal fusion surgery, and it just almost made things worse. So it's been hard. And I realize I can't drive, I can't really even drive it. Anyway, that's what we have there. So having the motorhome will help. We can go places. And I can't get the COVID vaccination because I have mast cell activation syndrome. I don't know what that means. That makes you allergic to everything. And I'm really exhausted, can you tell? So I'm not going to stay on very long. But I just wanted to touch bases, see if somebody wanted to come in, and I know it's Friday and spring, everybody's out, and My hair looks like crap. My eyes are tired. Looks like I'm on drugs. Not. I wished I was. Pain meds would be nice. Anyway, so um, I can't have the COVID vaccination because of the mast cell activation syndrome that makes me allergic to everything. And now they're finding out that it's mostly women who are allergic to the COVID vaccine, that there's more women allergic to it than there are men. And there's a lot of women that are dying, and that's scary. But then there's women that die of, die of the COVID. So I don't know. It's just scary. And then I have EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos. And I'm going to look up deaths from COVID vaccine. The COVID vax. Selected adverse events reported amid the COVID-19 vaccination. They're safe and effective for millions of people, but in the United States have received millions of people, and these vaccines will undergo the most intensely safely monitored in the US. However, there's anaphylactic shock syndrome. I got anaphylactic shock from half a piece of gum because I was allergic to it. So I have to carry an EpiPen with me everywhere I go. And anaphylactic is a severe reaction. And my dearest friend, one of my dearest lifelong friends, Lolita, died of anaphylactic shock because she was exposed to latex. And somebody had made rubber gloves, had used rubber gloves to bag up the kettle corn that she had purchased with her daughter at a Christmas bazaar. So I don't know. It's kind of scary, but there's finding out that it's more women who have the allergic reaction than men. And then those, and I'm going to put women deaths. And those with autoimmune diseases, those are the ones that have the more reactions. And, you still can get the COVID. And no, you can't. It doesn't change your DNA. There's so much misinformation. And if it's on the internet, it's right. It's correct, right? Not fake news. So I don't know. And then now our thing at the border. The Border Patrol agents, there's one agent for 600 people. And these 600 people are coming from Haiti, Syria, and a lot of them are terrorists. Anyway, that come into the United States, and 50 to 60% of them have COVID. And only 50% of the Border Patrol agents are vaccinated. So you've got this influx of people coming in to Southern California through the border areas, Texas, and I don't know how big the border is there, and then Phoenix, Arizona. Thousands of people coming in every day, and of those thousands, 50 to 60% have COVID. So I feel sorry for them. My mom was full-blooded Mexican, and I'm not prejudiced at all. People cannot choose which place or what color their skin is or what ethnicity they're from or how they look. That's a God-given. What God gives you is what you get, and we should never feel prejudice towards anybody. But I don't want them coming in because these people are coming in illegally. They're sending their children up here, and it's just sad. Shouldn't even talk about it because it really makes me sad. Anyway, I have a good friend, Tara, and we've been friends for a while. She's a Bible worker. She's my age, a little bit younger. Her daughter died of cancer a couple of years ago. That's bad enough, right? Well, Tara has lung cancer, and they've given her weeks to live, just weeks. And I've been trying to get a hold of her, but she's been coughing too much. So she sent me a book. Hold on. I'm going to ask her if I could read this book online because it is just really awesome. And most of you know that I had a dental implant go bad. So I'll be right back. They've given her just a few weeks to live. She's got lung cancer, and she's been battling it for several years. So, but she's got a good attitude about it. And, I whine about my fibromyalgia and my own problems, but, there's people that live in a third world country. They're in these refugee camps, and they have fibromyalgia, and they have autoimmune stuff. They have shrapnel injuries. They the horrible conditions. But I don't want to discount anyone's pain because I don't live in your body. I don't have to live with what you're doing. Nobody can walk in anybody's shoes. The only person that can do that is that person. Anyway, she sent me a card. Dear Cheryl and Larry, I've been trying to connect with Cheryl on Facebook since it's hard for me to talk without coughing and choking. She has apparently changed her name. No, I haven't been on Facebook much. Here's a copy of my book for Larry and a little prayer book for Cheryl. These are remembrances of me for you and a tool for Larry to hold prophecy meetings in your home. Anyway, she wrote this book. And this is Tara. She was a millionaire before we met. She was a very successful real estate agent. I was a successful real estate agent too, and I had to quit because of my health. And my symptoms are growing more serious, and it's not likely I'll be here much longer. But I've appreciated your friendship and look forward to seeing you on the other side of Tara. Anyway, I know a lot of people are grieving and having a hard time. And I lost my dearest friend, Lolita. It's been 3 years. And her husband, Dan, died recently. These are early 70s. They shouldn't have died. Her dad is still alive. And anyway, I'm going to ask Tara if I can read this. I don't know if you're interested in it, but I'll do this on a different, not the fibromyalgia support group. But, she's got such a good attitude. about what's happening to her. She doesn't feel sorry for herself. She doesn't blame God. And she's not nasty. She doesn't. And she says, I'm no one special to the world. I'm just a simple lay servant of Jesus Christ who is also an adult survivor of abuse and alcoholic parents. Marital, emotional, and physical abuse and much trauma. Like many who have experienced the changing love of Jesus Christ, I have come from a very dark place and have traveled along a path of discovery that led me to step into the light of God's truth and love. It was not an easy journey, but it has made me who I am, a person of simple and strong faith. If you knew Tara, you would love her. She got me. She understood that I had pain. She believed in me. We had fun. She could laugh. She's a Christian, but she wasn't a prude. She wasn't stuck up or snooty. She is a really awesome person. And she just wrote, my symptoms are growing more serious, and it's not likely I'll be here much longer. But I guess we should feel sorry for us. And there's a lot going on in our world, and a lot of things happening with COVID, people losing their jobs. And I don't think the COVID's going to get any better. I think it's going to get worse, and it's mutated. It's easier to catch, and it's even deadlier. So I don't know what the answer is. But we have to find a way to hang on to our faith or to God or a higher power, whatever you want to believe in. God doesn't care what you call him. You can call him this flying spaghetti monster. Anyway, I know what suffering feels like because I have suffered for decades. I started out with fibromyalgia, and then I had a tennis elbow, and then I always had irritable bowel, and then I didn't have any fatigue or anything, and then it just overnight, when I hit 41 years old, I woke up January morning and I felt like I had the flu, and every joint in my body ached. And I'd been diagnosed with fibromyalgia 10 years before that, and I told the doctor, oh, you don't know what you're talking. I don't have anything wrong, because I was working full time at the hospital. And he said I had fibromyalgia. And I looked at the brochure and I said, I don't have fatigue. I don't have pain, nothing. And all I had was tennis elbow that wouldn't heal. But he did do the touching. But it was a neurologist that, Dr. Crumpacker, I think, he diagnosed me here in Portland. But I didn't believe them until I woke up one morning in January, right after my 40th birthday, and I'm 69 now. So it's been how many years? 40, 50, 60, 29 years with fibromyalgia. 29 years of chronic pain, and it's not changed, except my fatigue. I don't have fatigue anymore because I take methyl B12. And if you go over my other books, you'll see, or my other videos, you'll see where I blab on about ad nauseum about B12. And I want you to look up this Sally Pacholik. And if you can, get the book where she talks about B12. People who are vegan or eat a plant-based diet don't get enough B12. And then people with diarrhea or constipation don't absorb B12 because it's a large molecule, and the only place in your body where you absorb it is sublingual. That's lingual is your tongue, like lingual language, sublingual, or in a certain area in your small intestine where your appendix used to be. And they believe that that's our appendix used to make the B12, the body's B12. But something went wrong there along the way, and our bodies quit making our own B12. So the only way you can get B12 is from animal source. Or when you get cyanocobalamin, that's a molecule of the cyanide. And it's not the deadly cyanide, it's just one little leg of that, the whole molecule. But it's hard to absorb. And for those of us who lack the intrinsic factor, meaning we have not enough stomach acid, things go wrong, if we can absorb it, we can't convert it. So you can take all the vitamin B12 you want. You can drink it, but if it's the cyanocobalamin, it won't work. You need the methylcobalamin because that is what your body uses. And I began taking methyl B12 in September 2002, and I'd had an EMG. It was after I had a double bowel resection because of my Crohn's, and I had an aneurysm in my intestine. It was a really long stretch of really bad time. But anyway, after my surgery, I got worse. I got peripheral neuropathy, dizziness, fatigue, a brain fog like you wouldn't believe. It was, hello, Princess Takalada. Hey, how's it going in San Francisco? Do you know the Gambles? My sister used to work for Procter & Gamble's. They live on Nob Hill. They're wealthy, and they have a summer home, or they have a weekend home in Oakville Crossroad in the Napa Valley, in Oakville. Anyway, so I began taking, I was so fatigued, I had to have an in-home nurse come and take care of me. She would help me take a shower, and I would beg her, I want to go back to bed. I didn't even want to wipe my behind when I went to the bathroom because I was that fatigued, and that's not me. And I went through that for months of fatigue. I had an EMG, a nerve conduction test. That's where they put the needles inside your muscle groups and they shock them to take the reading of what the muscle is doing. Very painful. It was a 4-hour test. They were trying to rule out MS or ALS. And I thought, if I have ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, I'm not going to stick around. I was going to do something to say goodbye, because that is the worst disease anyone can have. So it's so beautiful outside. Anyway, I suffered for months and months, and dizziness and burning skin and peripheral neuropathy, and I didn't get out of bed. I didn't even have the strength to take my clicker for the TV, the remote control. I didn't want to even change the channel. And my granddaughter would make me a sandwich, and I couldn't even chew it because my mouth was just to the muscles. I couldn't even use my muscles. So, oh, good, you ordered the, you went to school with Gamble. Oh, wow. Yeah, my sister really liked the Gambles. She was their caretaker there on Oakville Crossroad. And their son, one of their sons had heart disease. I know they had a daughter and I think 2 sons, and our kids are the same age. And my brother and my son loved getting their leftover clothes or their hand-me-downs because it was from the Gambles. They're very nice people, believe it or not. So I went to 4 different neurologists, and they each had a different take on what was wrong with me. It'd be interesting, Princess, I hope you get it right away. And believe me, it's going to make a huge difference in your life. Wine. No, that's not wine. It's Izzy's cut with club soda. So anyway, I found a website called Brain Talk Communities. And my husband got me a laptop because I couldn't even get out of bed. It's already, oh, it already arrived. When did you start taking it? And take, if you have fatigue and you think you're B12 deficient, start taking 5,000. This is what you have to ask your doctor. I'm just saying what I did. I took 5,000 micrograms. I took a half in the morning and half at night. So 2,500 in the morning and 2,500 micrograms. So 5,000, or how many? 2,500 in the morning. I'd cut it in half. And, but I had the EMG and 4 different neurologists. They all had a different take, but they knew something was wrong because my EMG and nerve conduct test proved that something was wrong. And I says, well, could it be a vitamin deficiency? And they said, I says, because I had this surgery and I had an aneurysm. I had what's called an arteriovenous malformation, the size of my fist. It burst several times and almost killed me. I shouldn't be alive. So anyway, my husband got me a laptop. He won some kind of prize, so he took the money and he bought a laptop. And that's how I started researching. Why do I have peripheral neuropathy? Why do I have burning lips? My mouth burn? Why does my skin burn? Why am I fatigued? Why do I have muscle twitching and weakness and all this other stuff? And I'm not diabetic. So the doctors were going, well, nothing adds up. Well, I found the website Brain Talk, which is Massachusetts General Hospital. You can look up Brain Talk, General Hospital Neurology Department. And they're doing studies about methyl B12. So I wrote in their forum, in the peripheral neuropathy forum, and I said, well, I have blah, blah, blah. And I had listed all my symptoms. And they asked me what my B12 level was. I said, oh, it's normal. It's above normal. It's 232. And he says, oh, not Japan. U.S. lab standards are wrong. They should be 600 and above because Japan and the U.K. say 600 and up. Anything under 600 is likely to be deadly. You can die from a B12 deficiency. And I had that symptoms where you put the chin to chest, and it's Herbidans or something like that. Lehmert's. And that's your spinal cord involvement. And I had dizziness. It was just awful. So they said, well, we can't advise you. We're Harvard neurologists and we're doing studies, but we've learned that B12 levels should be over 600. And they said, you might try, they wrote me a little side note, on the side, here, try taking methyl B12. So my husband got my first jar of methyl B12 at the health food store. And this is when it wasn't really popular back there in 2012 on Labor Day weekend. And we drove up to the family cabin on Hood Canal up in Washington. And I was so fatigued, I had to lay in the back. My husband put a little cushion there for me to lay down. And he drove it 6 hours getting to the cabin. And it's right on the water. Beautiful. Hood Canal is gorgeous. And his grandparents, my husband's grandparents, purchased 20 acres and 600 feet of water frontage. And you look at the Olympics from the cabin. It's beautiful. There's a beautiful 2-story log home, and then there's the original cabin. So when we arrived there, my grandson and my daughter were there, or my granddaughter and my son were there. And my husband helped me. I wore my pajamas for the ride. And I laid in the back and I slept. And when we arrived at Hood Canal, it was Labor Day weekend. And it was getting kind of, to where the sun was going to go down. It was about 6 o'clock when we arrived. And I went to bed. And I stayed in bed the whole time we were at Hood Canal for 4 days. But I did go walk down to the water with my granddaughter. And she was begging me. She was 5 or 6 years old. Come on, Grandma, come on. So I went down there for a few minutes wearing my pajamas. And I went back to bed. And then we drove home. And like I said, this was just 4 days into taking my methyl B12. And within 10 days from, Labor Day weekend is what, the 2nd or 3rd? And by the 15th of September, my fog and my fatigue started lifting. And I'd had the EMG and nerve conduction studies done mid-July at Oregon Health State University Hospital by the head neurologist. Took over my case because they knew something was terribly wrong. Plus my husband's family our doctors up there. So I couldn't believe how horrible my life was. Just too fatigued to even roll over in bed. So my EMG and nerve conduction test proved that something was horribly wrong, and they were thinking that I had Lou Gehrig's or MS because it acted like it. And then they had referred me to Mayo Clinic, and that's where you go and you get your muscle biopsy. It's a long process to rule out MS and Lou Gehrig's, ALS. And so you have to have the EMG and nerve conduction studies, and then you have the muscle biopsy. And it's a 1-inch piece of muscle that they take out of your thigh. It's painful. And it's a big deal, to take a 1-inch piece of muscle from your thigh muscle, but it has to be done in steps. You can't just have that done and then your EMG. So I made my appointment to go to Mayo Clinic, and we were going to go there in mid-October, and my husband was going to go with me. And I like to travel alone. I'm footloose and fancy free. I'll take the motorhome and I'll drive. I used to drive it for a week and go somewhere when my husband was busy and take the kids. So I don't mind going alone. And my husband was really busy, and getting off work for 2 weeks was pretty hard for him. But anyway, within weeks, I began feeling better and better and better. And then by the time I was supposed to go to the Mayo Clinic was mid-October, I felt fine. No fatigue, burning gone, dizziness gone, burning lips gone, skin sensitivity gone, peripheral neuropathy gone, muscle twitching, weakness, everything gone. And that was just taking methyl B12. And they repeated the EMG and nerve conduction tests at the Mayo Clinic. They have a different process. They come in with 4 people and the doctor, and they do it all at once. So, and it's over in minutes instead of hours. And they said, your nerve conduction test is normal. And we do believe it was a B12 deficiency. 4 neurologists and my doctor, my primary doctor, and my rheumatologist. So 6 doctors missed the fact. Oh, and my gastro doc too. So 7 doctors missed the fact that I was B12 deficient after my bowel resection and years of having Crohn's. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I am exhausted. And I got videos of my motorhome on there, and I feel kind of embarrassed because I don't want people to think that I'm bragging. It's a used motorhome, okay? It's but it only has 7,000 miles on it. Um, and I could not believe I went to Mayo Clinic by myself because I felt fine. I felt kind of silly for going. But they said, yeah, it was a B12 deficiency, and the methyl B12 is what changed it all. So and vitamin D is very important, even if you live in a sunny area, because you put sunscreen and sunblock and you block the vitamin D from getting into your body. Same way with methyl B12. Anyway, I hope you all encourage. I'm interested, Princess. Talk a lot of caca. I like to talk a lot of caca. Were you having fatigue or something, Princess? Do you have fibromyalgia? You know what also helps my muscle pain? Gluten-free diet. Somebody from the Brain Talk. Look up Brain Talk communities. I'll write that. And they have look up vitamin deficiency or peripheral neuropathy. My story was in there. I was their poster child, but they had a terrible computer crash, so my story got wiped out. Hi, Dan. God bless you, my sister. Hey, Otis got you a t-shirt, and it was special for you. Get my email. I promise I will not dox you. I'm a good soul. I would never share where you live or anything. But anyway, Otis got you a really cool t-shirt, and it has something about guitars. Anyway, I got it at Christmas time. I ordered it online. Anyway, God bless you all. And Dan, Princess, if you're looking to grow your channel, visit Dan Anderson. He plays the guitar. Not my kind of music, but that's all right. He's sweet. I love him. And I love my husband. I love Dan too. He's a sweet person. He's positive energy, and we show love, but we don't talk about subscribing. We just say, show some mad respect. That means that we subscribe to their channel. So anyway, my Scam Granny video showed up on Breaking News. It was, and it's going to be featured on TV. And I'm going to be making I think I'm going to be making some cards, like a wedding card. I'm looking online right now with a picture of me, Scam Granny. And then I'm going to say April Fool's Scam Awareness Day, because that's what I'm declaring is April Fool's as Scammer Awareness Day. And then it will help educate people about these scams that people are doing. We cannot stop these scammers. They spoof numbers, local numbers. They spend the day just lying Anyway, this is Scam Granny.
Suspicious activity? Oh, I'm so glad you called me, and you want my bank card? Oh, okay, just let me get you that. I'm known as Scam Granny on YouTube. Don't for the scams, and I am declaring April Fool's Day Scammer Awareness Day and all of April.
So
Scammer Awareness Month.
these scammers, what they do is they get a number from your area. Let's say they're going to target somebody in Portland, Oregon area, and they will spoof, or they will tunnel and grab the area code 503 and the beginning prefix of the cell phone 936. So I get all these calls from, looks like cell phone, or even the police department, the sheriff's department, or utilities numbers. And they call with all these different scams. And one friend, she's in her 90s, and she just had an open heart surgery recently, and her son died a couple months ago. It was sad, tragic. And so this is the last person that needs stress. She got a call in the morning, and it was her daughter. What sounded like her daughter. Mom, I was in a horrible accident. I need help, and please help me. Oh, I'm going to turn you over to somebody because I can't talk. It was a scammer. She almost got caught. And she says, well, where are you? I'm in Canada. She thought, the Canadian borders are closed. How'd you get up to Canada? What's going on? The scammer hung up on her because they knew they were onto her. But she almost got caught. And I almost got caught the other day too, because I'd ordered something online. And then it says, oh yeah. It said something about, order here. Or Facebook. Log into your Facebook quickly. I got a message to log into my Facebook. Daryl, the guy that helps us build and stuff like that, he got a notification to fill out this. It was on his iPhone. Oh, fill out this survey and you get a free iPad. So he filled it out, and he had to pay $3.99 for shipping. Big deal. But a free iPad. And then his bank called him. Well, now that they had his $3.99 plus his bank card, guess what happened? Anyway, his bank protected him and made him good, but it might not be your case. So the only way we can stop these scammers is by taking up their time. That's what I do, is I take up their time and expose. So tell everybody you know, please share my Scam Granny a video out. Text that my Netflix is going to shut down because okay, that's a new one. Don't do it. Don't fall for it, because they want, what they're looking for is your information and your bank statement, bank card numbers. So Trisha bothered his web scammer today. They hung up on her. I need to tell. I don't know. Can you guys tell Trisha that you should see Zelda's? I can't self-promote. Click on this link. Yep, that is very bad. Don't click on any link. Yeah, I would have gotten caught. I've been caught in other scams, but anyway, it's scary. But I want to make these cards with the picture where I'm wearing the alien glasses and look like a grandma and answering the old telephone. And I want to put down, Scam Granny has an important message for you. And then list many of the scams and how not to get scammed. Even the police calling you, they can use the police number, the non-emergency number. They can use that. Not legally, but they do use that. So don't get caught. And I think share my video with everybody you can to help educate others. And take your methyl B12 and vitamin D. Thank you for coming by. And I know it's painful. Take a hot bath with some Epsom salt. It's all in your head. There's nothing wrong. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's a neurological disease. There's something wrong. And I think they think it's tied to your thyroid, because most everybody with fibromyalgia has Hashimoto's hypothyroid. And that's why you're fat, is because you can't lose weight, because your metabolism, because your thyroid's messed up. So don't let anybody tell you it's all in your head. Don't let anybody discount your pain. I believe in you, and people here believe in you. So don't let anybody tell you or discount your pain. I have somebody I know, and if I tell her I'm not feeling good, oh, I don't either. You know, I had to, and I don't even take meds. I don't take anything. Okay. Oh, I had open heart surgery and I didn't even take a Tylenol. That's the type of attitude she has. So when I had my spinal fusion, I didn't get any support from her, because anyone, she called me and asked me how I'm doing. I says, oh, I'm having a hard time. The pain is really bad. Oh, you think you got it bad? Oh, I've got it really bad. Yeah, I really. Don't let anybody do that to you. If you need somebody who understands, send me an email, and that's zelda@rconnects.com. And I might or might not get back to you because I don't open up my email all the time. Anyway, God bless you all. And I know it's painful. I've lived with it for 29 years. Some doctors don't even understand or care to understand. But I like those guys in Reno. I'll put the link up. They do fibromyalgia talk, and I wrote something about methyl B12 and how it helped me. They removed it. I guess they don't believe in methyl B12, but I need to give them an earful. Fibro, Reno, Nevada. Okay.
On and on. The bottom line is fibromyalgia is not one condition. It is not, they're not going to find a retrovirus that causes fibromyalgia, because it's a number of different conditions that come together to create your unique aberrant pain pattern. There's neurological issues.
Fibromyalgia treatment, Reno, Nevada.
And there can even be musculoskeletal issues involved. I know. I'm a chiropractor for 32 years, as well as practicing functional medicine. And I've had a lot of patients come to me for their fibromyalgia to get adjusted, and some of them it is helpful.
So, anyway, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you sub to my channel. Hit the icon, notification icon bell, and share my Scam Granny. The Scam Granny announcing, I'll put a link, announces scammer alert. Let me see, let me put, let me get the link. Yeah, food allergies too. I like him. You guys should listen to him. He is really good. He's excellent, excellent doctor. He's a chiropractor, but that's okay. A lot of people discount what chiropractors have to say.
Have either undiagnosed thyroid problems, misdiagnosed thyroid problems, or
thyroid.
diagnosed thyroid problems. Many of you have Hashimoto's thyroid.
That's, remember I said that. Oop. Did it end?
And it has not been diagnosed properly. It hasn't been treated properly. In analogy to you that a gut
Am I still
and a
on?
thyroid can affect your tissues negatively. Your gut,
Anyway.
and your tissues and your thyroid, and this is just one example of many examples, can ultimately create inflammatory problems and imbalance problems that can affect your blood sugar. That can also affect
I guess
your brain.
I screwed up by
Most of
clicking
you have
on it.
left brain deficits, and I don't have the time here to go into left and right brain, but here's what most of you experience. You're experiencing an inability to add and subtract the way you used to. You can't learn the way that you used to. You find out that you're losing your ability to find your worth. A lot of left brain function is not going well with you, and that is being exacerbated by the gut, and it's being exacerbated.
I can't find my way back to the live stream.
This is a common pattern we see in fibromyalgia. The only thing
I guess I screwed up.
to you here is there's probably 50.
Oh, here I am. Okay. Now I found it. I got back on. Okay, here's
Create the multiple that we get from our fibromyalgia patients who come in here.
There it is.
There is not a one-shot fix.
There's the scam granny one. So thank you guys.
Most of you have been through
Blessings to you, and don't let anybody discount your pain.
Sidelong glances from your doctors. Most of you have
Been there, done that.